Okay, so let's talk about the iconic sisters for a moment. So, if you're not caught up with the situation, then let me explain. So, on TikTok, there are these three girls who are sisters and they're content creators, and their names are Amanda, Deborah, and Goodness. So these girls are really talented and they make content about different things like singing, acting, dancing, modeling, and all that stuff. Now, they have this issue where a lot of brands are trying to reach out to them and send them PR packages, but unfortunately, because they live under their parents' roof, the parents do not allow them to receive any PR packages. And this type of thing hinders their growth as it makes it more difficult for brands to work with them. So I made a video in response to this and I gave them a solution, which is for them to work with digital brands. Because when you work with a digital brand, you do not need to receive PR from them. You just have to make content about them, and in return, they give you monetary compensation. Luckily for me, not long after I posted the video onto TikTok, one of the iconic sisters, Deborah, commented and she liked my suggestion. Now, this video is about what type of digital brands that I can see them working with and how they can leverage working with digital brands in general. Now, my goal of making this video is so that way more digital brands can actually work with them, so that they will not only make money, but it will help them to grow even more. And if you're a content creator who has worked with any digital brands like apps or games, or you're any of these digital brands yourselves, please make sure that you give these girls the opportunity that they deserve. Like, if you know anybody that can give them that opportunity, please make sure that this video reaches them. Now, for me to categorize what type of brands that the girls should be working with, I am going to be categorizing these brands that they should work with based on what talent they have, based on what content they post. So I'm going to start with Deborah, one of the sisters. So for Deborah's content, she normally makes acting and singing videos, and I discovered her from her acting videos. Now, when it comes to the aspect of acting, I can see her working with a brand like Episode. Now, as we already know, Episode is the app that allows you to read interactive stories. Like, there are characters or avatars that basically play out a story. So I can actually see her making a video about them, in the sense that now, like, she can act out a scene from an Episode story, and then when she does that, she can now put a call to action saying, like, you guys should come to Episode and read this particular story based on the scene she acted it from, like, if you get what I mean. I could even see her also working with brands like, streaming services or book apps like Wattpad and all that stuff, where she can act out scenes from them and then she can now promote them, saying, go watch this or go read this. And even for acting, I can see her actually getting a deal with all these teleprompter apps that can turn your phone into a teleprompter. I can see her actually doing that type of stuff, in my opinion, like where she can read out a scene from something that she acts and everything, and then she can now tell everyone that she used that app to read the scene out. In addition, Deborah could also work with video editing brands as well. Like, this is in the sense of acting or even any other thing she wants to do. So now Deborah could actually make a video where she acts a certain scene and then she edits that thing on that video editor, and she can add all these fancy effects and whatnot. And maybe a video editing brand could challenge her to create certain genres of acting scenes, like maybe to make a black and white movie, all those old movies, and they could actually challenge her to make those types of scenes and then edit them on their platform, and then from there she could post it and then for the brand, and then she makes money off of it. Now, for singing, I can actually see Deborah working with karaoke apps like there's Smule and other karaoke based apps. I can see her working with those types of brands, or even all those audio brands like BandLab and so on. I can see her working with those types of brands as well. Now, next up, we're going to go to one of the other sisters, Goodness. So, for Goodness, I've seen her content and she particularly makes makeup videos. Now, when it comes to her content, I can actually see her making videos about makeup based games. Like, I'm pretty sure that we all played a makeup game once in a while as a girl and all that. I can see her actually making content about those types of games where she can try to replicate a look from the game, in my opinion. I can even see her working with brands like UCam that allow you to actually take a picture of yourself and then you can edit it to actually, have makeup on it or not. I can see her working with those brands or all these brands that, they let you like use filters or they let you to edit your face in some way. I can see her working with those types of brands as well. Now, finally, we have the last sister, Amanda. So, Amanda makes content particularly about modeling. Now, when it comes to the aspect of modeling, I can see her also making like content about games. Like, there are all these games where you can model and, do all those runway thing where she can actually be walking at the same time where the game is playing at the same time. I can see her doing that. I can even see her making content about all these dress up games where she can try to dress up the character and she'll give her impressions or something. Like, there's one dress up game that I used to play when I was in secondary school called Blair's Fashion Boutique. So, a game similar to that, she could actually make content about it and promote it. Now that I've talked about the individual talents that these girls have, I will actually talk about one talent that they all have in common, and that is dancing. So they make a lot of dancing videos together, and there was even this like video they made about the trend. I think when you see me running my bag, I'm back, like that song, like, and that their dance went viral. So that's one thing they all have in common. Now, when it comes to their dancing, I can actually see them working with gaming brands. Like, there are all these game developers that they make games about, like dancing and everything. Like, there was one of these dancing games I used to play back in secondary school where, like, it's like a game where you dance and then it's like a hip hop dance game, something like that. I can see them actually trying to maybe replicate the moves in the game or something. Like, they can do like who did that dance better, something like that. Or they'll play the game and then just talk about it for some time and then they'll make money off of that. But one thing I can also see is artists actually paying them to dance to their songs, something like that. Maybe now an artist can make a song and if they see that the girls are popular, they can actually pay them to just dance to their music and all that, and then they'll make a lot of money from it. But to the end of the day, they do not have to only make content about what I just talked about. They can still make content about other digital related brands, like maybe banking apps and so on, as long as they find a way to integrate that thing into their content and as long as they personally want to do it. So this is basically my rundown on how they should actually, leverage digital brands. And what do you think about this? Do you think it's a good idea? Comment below, and I hope that these girls will be able to reach greater heights. Anyway, goodbye.